But look at that Audi freight train. Right through the last corner, they accelerate in unison. Alan McNish on the right side, left side of your screen right now. Remember, it's 10 hours, so boys, take it easy. And here's the GTS fight. Look at this here. The two yellow Corvettes ahead of the Vipers. They have spent the whole season long trying to first match the speed of the Vipers, then got level with them, and now they're just, Dorsey, it appears, maybe a tiny skosh faster.
Well, this new chassis has been really good. They've won races with it, but not an endurance race, not yet anyway. But look at them as they come down the S's. Really beautiful speed through here.
Oh, it's been great to follow this GTS battle all season long. Calvin?
Well, one problem for the GTS and the GT cars here this weekend, Derek, is the fact that all of their practice sessions were either early morning or the night time, so they really didn't have a lot of track time during these early afternoon hours, and the track conditions are quite different. So other than qualifying, which is really typically 3 to 5 laps, they don't have that much track time at this time of day.
And that is Fellows, Pilgrim, Olivier Beretta, and then David Donahue is the fourth car in line. The GTS cars, and see the P cars coming behind you.
Well, you look out the rear end of that thing, and that's a fiberglass rear window, not fiberglass, but plexiglass. It moves around, and you got that big wing on there. So these cars are up in the air where the driver sits, and the prototypes are down underneath. Look, we have a change for second place right there. Viper moves around and goes second place.
That's Olivier Beretta. Now running down Ron Fellows. Andy Pilgrim was the one that was passed. David Donahue was just about 10 car lengths behind these three boys. But this is the type of fight in GTS.
Look here, look
Whoa, the braking zone down inside him.
Boy,
down inside him.
Made it look easy. Just stuck the Viper right up in there.
Yikes.
Now they get loose on the bridge. Watch the back of the car twitch right there.
Olivia Beretta now will lead this GTS battle for the first time this afternoon. Early in the race to pull a braking move like that, but there's the Viper. Now heads the GTS battle. Good stuff. This is one of the Panos cars. Boom! Drop kicks the Corvette, Dorsey, right off the road.
And that's exactly what Dick Barber was complaining about. These guys being rude, and he was...
Doug Feehan is here. He's the Corvette program manager. He said this is like a family. Worked together on this program right from gestation period, and they have watched it grow, get faster, challenge the Vipers, and then win. This is a great program here. As close to the road-going Corvette as they can keep this, they want to do that. It's got a wider track here this weekend. It's not the first time they tried it, but the wider track has definitely given Goodyear way more options for tire development, and that has made a big difference to this Chevrolet Corvette. Again at the top.
You must be very disappointed because in all the big races you've had these string of podium finishes together, of course, with Johnny Moan.
I couldn't quite hear you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've had all these second places in the big races like Le Mans and obviously Sebring. You must be disappointed.
It's really disappointing because these are the kind of races that we do well. We had second at Sebring, Le Mans, and Nürburgring, and this is the one, especially my home track, I thought we could really do well. Trying to stay out of trouble, trying to run a consistent pace, that's what we were doing. Everything's going great, and you just can't avoid it sometimes when I'm out in the marbles and somebody pushes me further. Can't go any more than that.
A very disappointed David Murray.
Yes, indeed. David Murray, a man who goes very, very well here at this racetrack. In fact, David did have a little celebration a couple of weeks ago because he had the birth of his son, Dylan, on September 17th.
Boy, in the meantime, look at this. We got the Viper with a Corvette sandwich in the middle of it. This Corvette's been working very, very hard to try to get by. That's Andy Pilgrim. And he looks to the inside. He's trying to get underneath. No room there, but he's not giving up. He's still the inside. Look at this. That's turn 7. Now, it's hard to get through there without spinning up. Let's see who's got horsepower. The other, now, Viper side by side. They're not doing any drafting.
Look at this here. This is good stuff here with the GTS battle. Now, traffic may be a factor all through this race. I just want to take you back to a couple of minutes ago. Right here, have a look at one of the P cars, one of the Panos cars trying to go by a traffic jam. Just look at what he has to do to make the pass.
Boy, nowhere to go. He doesn't know where to go. Goes to the right, goes to the left, goes to the right. He's off in the grass at 170 miles an hour.
Trying to get past. That is what's going to happen here, because this is going to be a familiar pattern. So they were the first of the P cars to make that stop. Franz Conrad, of course, so experienced. Look at this here. 3 and 4 abreast.
Oh, and there are P cars in there. There's the GT just bumped the P car back. I bet that was a return favor. I bet you that Cadillac leaned on the Beretta, on on the Viper. The Viper driver just said, hey, you want a little of this? He gave him some back.
Yeah.
They're fisticuffs out there.
So right in the middle of the mix here. But we just looked at Franz Conrad now beginning to drop down the order here. Calvin?
Yeah, they've actually had a misfire they've been trying to cure all weekend, Derek, so that may be a result of the problems they've been having in the engine department. They've been changing everything on the car, couldn't really find it, went into the race with a bit of an unknown, but they had Terry Borscheller slated to drive that car. That's his first time he's been in one of these LMP cars, and he told me, he said after 5 laps, he said, I thought my neck was falling off. And he's a very fit young guy, driven a lot of cars this year. He's in a race car typically 2 times every weekend, but these LMP cars, the G-force around this track is something else.
Thank you, Calvin. Here is the 2 Vipers. The Vipers are in a fight. They are ahead right now.
It should be a great fight as always. Let's hope so. I'm sure it will be. Thanks very much, Ron. Moustacheless.
Yes, indeed. Now, for Joel Rollins, who sent us that email earlier on, you can see by Olivia Beretta's face that the Viper is much, much hotter inside than the Corvette. It used to be the other way around in the brake zone. This is good stuff here.
Down at the beach. We thought, might a little bit of
close
there. We'll see right here now. We come out at 11, down this steep hill, flat out through turn 12, well over 100 mile per hour right there. The Corvette uses the curve. Viper didn't. Turn 1, that's riding right now. We're riding with Chris Neifel, one of the tallest drivers. He used the curve in turn 1 just a little bit too. Now we got a slow car in the way. Beretta gets around it, or I should say the Viper gets around it. Flick to the right for turn 3 across the curve.
These boys are very even. This is a very even fight here. And I imagine, because of how reliable these cars have been, this fight...
Look at the GTS battle going on right here. This is in turn 5. So we got battles all over the racetrack. That's a half a lap apart right now. That's the lead 2 cars.
We got a fight everywhere. The email question, remember, asks us why did they run all 3 of these classes together. It's always the way they've done it, and it has been excitement all the way. This is a number 93 car. David Donahue started this car. He is with Belloc and Dominic Dupuis. We're not sure. I believe they did a driver change, and I think it is Belloc who is in that car now. That is Jan Magnussen back out. They did repair something on that left front. We don't know what it was, but they now have fallen way down. They're still in the top 10, but they are now 3 full laps behind, running in 9th place overall, just ahead of the Angelelli Cadillac. The Angelelli Wayne Taylor Cadillac, who is rounds out the top 10.
And there's a wonderful GTS battle. These guys never get out of sight of one another. There, of course, the Corvette, the yellow Corvette, 2 cars separating it from its rival, the Viper, and they have done this all year long. They're always in the same picture frame, these guys.
Yes, indeed, and the GTS is ahead in that battle. Kelly Collins is behind the wheel. He took over from Andy Pilgrim. Carl Wendlinger is behind him in the number 91 car, but you're right, they always seem to be on the same piece of track forever whenever these races are going on. This is a huge fight and has been all season long. There is Kelly Collins in the number 4 car. The number 3 car has Chris Neifel behind the wheel. They are 14th overall, and they are 4th in the GTS class. So they got themselves into a little bit of trouble. Led the class earlier, now dropped back to 4th. There is Magnussen again. And Dorsey, sometimes when they repair this, they don't get it all right. And if you just don't feel right, you just can't put these things on the ragged edge where you have to if you're going to run close to these Audis.
Now look here right there, the Panos catches up with the back of the Corvette. Coming up here through turn 5.
See the blue flags with the corner marshals. You just saw them on the right-hand side there, trying to alert the drivers, particularly the Corvette drivers, that something fast is passing you by.
You know, when you bend
in a second.
You bend one of those toe links like what they were talking about on the Panos, and the guys, the mechanics go out there and repair it, but they don't have time to align it proper, so they just guess at it, and if they don't like it, they'll put a half a turn in it for you.
Yeah.
And it's you're right, it's hard to commit to the level you need to when you don't have a 100% car underneath you.
Great racetrack here at Road Atlanta, now in its 30th year of competition.
Right on board the Corvette right now, see what it's up to. It's up in turn 3. Oh, and there's the team car slicing across front. That was close. And we must have trouble. We got trouble.
Chris Neifel is behind the wheel, and he seems to be in trouble. We don't know what is wrong there.
Listen to the motor here. It sounds like it's on all 8 still.
What is wrong with that? Those other 2 cars just went by him way, way too fast.
Boy, look at the rubber coming off the back of the Viper. They're in a top right now. They're in a real go at it. Both of the cars up front are leaving black marks as they get off the corner. Their wheels spinning.
Kelly Collins, we believe, was in the Corvette that just passed the number 3 car.
Well, it seems to be up to speed, but boy, those 2 guys just blew by.
Yes. We didn't see any traffic. We didn't see a reason for him to have to slow down. He's staying with the pack right now.
Actually made some time right there in the brake zone.
Yeah.
So maybe he missed a gear as he came out of turn 5. It's an uphill pull, and if you miss your upshift.
And Randy Wars, and he is the fastest of those 3 guys. As we see, one of our Vipers in trouble here. The number 91 car that was second in the GTS category. Carl Wendlinger is behind the wheel, and you know what? We don't know, but I would almost bet he hit somebody. That seems to be what's happening here.
He's going to lose that whole outer part there. The whole tire is going to come flying out and go somewhere before he gets back to the pits.
You see, is there any damage on the right front dorsey as you look closely there?
Can't tell if there's damage.
No,
it's not bad if there is damage. It's definitely cut down.
It's a long way back to the pits now.
Yeah, and look at the cars coming behind him. That tire can go at any time.
Yeah, Kelly Collins now pulls further away in the Corvette. Tommy Archer with...
Oh, it locks up badly and they're braking now on the carcass. There's the leader going by.
Leading car gets through.
He gets out of the way. That's the good news. And he will make it to the pits with that tire intact.
There's his teammates, all three in a row here. 1 lame duck and 2 flyers. Carl Wendlinger probably will do a driver change too. So Carl Wendlinger, quick update, another email. Big off at the top of the S's with one of the Vipers. One of the Vipers off the road big time.
One of the